Was that creepy?
No, not at all.
You don't know?
So not at all.
Not at all? Some people are really scared of this. Some people are really scared of this. They think it's a really scary story. Why would they think it was scary? Because of the lightning? Is there lightning in your book when you're reading it?
Music.
No, the music. So you're talking about the video itself that we just finished watching. What about the poem itself? Let's focus on the poem itself. Yes.
The knocking.
The knocking. So that's kind of creepy to you?
Tapping.
Line 25 says deep in the darkness peering.
Right, by 9:25, deep in the darkness peering. So when you think of dark, that kind of reminds you of horror
And it says fearing.
and fearing. So very good. You have two rhyming words. You have something, Brianna?
I was gonna ask if anything for a while.
Do it? Oh, that's fine. If you want to. Yes, please do. Let's turn the light on. Okay, so what's this poem about? Can someone just summarize it? Or was it kind of up to me to break it down, paraphrase it? Yes.
He thought a guy was knocking on his door, but he was a raven.
He thought it was a guy and ended up being a raven. Okay, what did the raven? Why was he? What was he thinking of before the raven got there? Okay, a dead person named Lenore. Very good. So, do you guys remember back when we talked about the Telltale Heart and we talked about Edgar Allan Poe? When did they say he started writing? Why did they say they think he may have wrote all these kooky, creepy stories?
Didn't like his girlfriend die or something?
Do what, Jackson?
He had problems.
Okay, he had problems, but they talked about something. Did you have something? I think you had the answer.
His wife died?
Say it louder.
His wife died?
His wife died. Remember they talked about his wife passing away? Ethan, really? Okay, so his wife died. So once his wife had passed away, you know, that's when a lot of people say that he started writing all these creepy, creepy things. Emmy, do you think that he's scary? Was Telltale Heart scary? No, Telltale Heart wasn't scary. Okay, so let's just break this down. Hunter, do you have a question?
Fun fact. All of Edgar Allan Poe's family died of tuberculosis except him.
Accept it. Wow, that's great. If you look at a bunch of old like poets and stories like that, you'll find that a lot of them died of tuberculosis.
What's tuberculosis?
It's a disease that kills people. Like your body.
You
kinda
can
just-
cough up blood.
Right, your body just breaks down. But now we get our shots for tuberculosis, so it's not an issue anymore. Yes.
Never mind. I forgot about
Okay, let's get back on task. Did you have something?
Why do you write the Raven?
Why did he write the Raven?
Yeah. What's the point?
Because he felt sadness about some kind of loss. There's actually another poem that he had written called Lenore. That's one that I'll show you guys on Friday. And it's gonna go, we're gonna go Lenore, and then we'll do the Raven again. That way you can see both of them put together. And you'll actually see that that's where his sadness from this one came from. So he had lost a female in his life that he really cared for. Okay, let's break this down. Can someone tell me what the rhyme scheme is of the first stanza? Brianna? Brianna's got it, Jackson.
A, B, C, D, B.
Hey, could you repeat that?
Is it A, B, C, D, B, B?
B, B, B. Very good. Okay, so do you guys agree with her?
it. Yes.
Give me a raise of hands if you agree. A, B, C, B, B, B. Okay. So, does lore rhyme with door?
Yeah.
Yes. What would we call that? A slant rhyme. Very good. So, A, B, C, B, B, B. And then thumbs up if you completely understand rhyme scheme. I think we have a pretty good grasp at it, but we want to make sure we're ready. We have our testing coming up. Thumbs to the side if you're still unsure about it. If you're unsure, come talk to me after class, okay? I really want to make sure that everybody has this down. We have the test that we have coming up on Thursday. We'll actually be talking about doing that. We'll actually have some poems, and you're going to have to break down rhyme scheme. So make sure that you're completely ready for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this down. Let's kind of paraphrase it how we've discussed. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary. Can someone paraphrase that sentence for me, or that line for me?
Once I was sitting down at night, and it was weak, it was scary.
Okay, it was weak and scary. Ethan?
Late one night, I was wondering, I was thinking that I was weak.
Okay, so he's kind of weak and weary. He's thinking it's late. It's midnight, so midnight lets you know
He's
it's in the
tired.
middle of the night. Yeah, he's definitely tired. Over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. What is he talking about there? When he talks about volume of forgotten lore, what do you guys think he's referring to?
Is he reading like a book that nobody else has read or something?
Very good. He's reading a book and he said forgotten lore. So that means it may be like an old classic, just something that a lot of people hadn't done. So maybe he was going through his library and pulled out some old books. They weren't necessarily up to date. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of some gently rapping at my chamber door. So what's going on there?
He hears a sound.
What?
He hears a sound.
He hears a sound, right. There's just a rapping on his door. He uses the rhyming. Okay, what does it mean whenever there's two rhymes right in the middle of a sentence? What do we call that? We talked about it on the Oh Captain, My Captain.
Did we do those?
We didn't do it.
No, this was the one you guys did on your own. I told you guys to do it for homework, remember? I said it's going to be due by Friday.
I did the wrong one.
You did the wrong one. Well, that's why I'm giving you guys time until Friday to get that done. But that was one of the poems you're doing on your own. So internal rhyme. Can someone give a guess of what internal rhyme would be? What does the word internal mean?
Inside.
Inside. Okay, so if you have an internal rhyme, Amy, what do you think we're talking about? Rhyming inside the sentence. Very good. So it's the two things, two words together. Okay. Also, why don't you guys look at line number 4? Do you guys think that would be a metaphor or a simile? You think metaphor? And why do you think metaphor? Think 3 and 4. Does it say like or as?
Oh, yes.
Yes, very good. So what? It's a simile?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. She goes with that it's a simile. Why do you guys think that she says that it's a simile? And why do you think I agree with her? Ashante? It has as in it. Very good. So what's the difference between a metaphor and simile, Hunter?
Metaphor doesn't have like or as in it. Simile does.
Does have like or as. Very good. Very good. So we got that done. And he says, "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. So he already seems a little scared because he says, well, he's pondering. I guess he's not necessarily scared right there. So he's just saying it's nothing more. You guys remember another poem that we had where somebody had something that was kind of freaking them out a little bit, and they had to try to figure out, or they were trying to calm themselves down?
The one with the eagle eye.
Raise your hands, please. Okay, yes.
This is the story about the eagle eye.
Okay, the
Telltale.
eagle eye?
It's a heart, right?
There's a vulcan eye. Wasn't it a vulcan eye, guys?
A vulture.
Vulture, very good. See, even I get corrected sometimes. But you're right. It was
A
Telltale
vulcan.
Heart. What happened to Telltale Heart? Similar to that when someone was calming themselves down. Okay, the monkey's paw. Did you do that? The monkey's paw. Well, we're talking about Telltale Heart right now. Let's regress and go back to Telltale Heart. What did the old man do to calm himself down?
He acted like it was just like something in the wall or something.
Right. You know, he said like it could be a mouse coming across, or it's the storm. So, excuse me, something like that. So he just wanted to calm himself down. Very good. Line number 7. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December. So what is he telling you guys right there?
Who remembers that it was like, is it bleak, like late?
Not
Or
necessarily
early?
bleak. You can
Like-
think of it as late, but think of bleak as just kind of bad and sad. There's a Charles Dickens story called Bleak House, and it talks about like everything's just kind of run down and it's cold and bleak's just, I don't know, it can be used in a lot of different ways.
So it's like he barely remembers a sad December.
Well, he said, I distinctly, I remember.
Oh.
So he really remembers, not kind of. So he really remembers it was in the bleak December. So he's telling us the story about what happened to him. So this is kind of future tense. So I want you to think about that line when we get to the very end, because there's a lot of people that think something else happened. So remember line number 7, it's important. And each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. What does that mean?
He wished for tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
He wanted it to be.
Right, he wanted the next day to come. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore. So what does that mean? Vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow. We need to break that down one word at a time. So, what is surcease? What do you think that could mean?
Like he seceded.
Okay, what the easiest way to figure out words is to break them down into their root words. So cease would be the root word. Have you guys ever heard someone say cease before?
Yes.
What does cease mean?
Like to end.
To end, to stop, or to take, because a lot of times they'll say that, you know, the government's gonna cease your funds, so they're gonna take your money, and it's gonna stop. So, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books, surcease of sorrow. So, what is he saying, what is he borrowing from his books?
Surcease of sorrow.
Surcease of sorrow, but what does that mean? What is sorrow?
Like he's like
Sadness.
reading it to end his sorrow.
Right, he's reading so that, not necessarily to end it, but in a way he's kind of just trying to forget about it. So, doing something to get your mind out of it. Have you guys ever done that before?
Yeah.
You know, you've had, you know, maybe something was bothering you. You know, even if it's something simple, you know, maybe you didn't get an A on the test, you got a B instead, because I know you guys are all gonna get A's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I know you guys got this test. I'm excited. You guys have actually done really well so far. So yeah, he's just trying to forget his sorrow. Okay, and then he adds on. What does he tell us his sorrow is about? Dylan? What's his sorrow for?
Someone who died.
Someone who died. Who died?
Lenore.
Lenore, line 11. Follow along in your books, please. Or on your packet, please. Okay, nameless here forevermore. What does evermore mean?
Like
Okay,
Some
root
tip of the
words.
tongue.
Ever. What do you think when you think of like forever?
A long time.
A long time. So evermore. So the name is here forevermore. So he's saying that I will always think of the name Lenore. Always think of the name Lenore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. This, that now, so still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more. So what's going on here? Is it, you guys think the action's kind of picking up a little bit? Read line number 13. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain. What is rustling?
like
Right, it's like folded up, it's the moving, so he's focusing on that. It thrilled me, so you know, they're moving just a little bit, and it thrills him. Okay, well, let's go back to the purple curtains. What do you guys think he mentioned that he had purple curtains?
why?
Why do you think he mentioned he had purple curtains? Yes.
Purple's like a scary color.
Okay, purple can be a scary color.
To like give imagery.
Okay, it's right. It has a lot to do with imagery. And also, I want you guys to think of, like, in the past. What do you guys think of when you think of kings and queens?
Oh yeah.
Like the 1800s.
Do what? I can't hear you.
The 1800s.
The 1800s. But when you think of purple, it's like a royal color. Back in the day, purple was a hard color to get. So, you know, only people like me would be wearing purple. But no, he's kind of letting you know that in a way he's got money. This guy right here, he's not. I don't think he's trying to show off, but I think it's kind of a way of letting you know that, you know, he's not necessarily poor. He's got an entire chamber with purple curtains, and it thrilled him seeing this go. Filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor. So what is he doing right there? You think that he's? Yes. He's trying to comfort himself, yes. So this definitely goes back to the telltale heart, as I talked about a minute ago. So he's trying to comfort himself. He has the knocking, there's things going on, and he's just sitting there reading. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door. So what's going on here? Someone summarize it for me. Is there a difference between paraphrasing and summarizing? Jackson, is there a difference?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's the difference?
paraphrasing, you put it in your own words.
Okay, summarizing you put in your own words also. Well, what do you think? With paraphrasing, do you try to do every line?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Very good. Okay, and with summary? Yes. Is what? Well, you will do it inside the paragraph, but usually when you summarize, it's like taking an entire long story and you break it down and you just kind of talk about it, you shorten it up. But in paraphrasing, the way that we've been doing it in this class is one line at a time. Now you're